Is it even possible to beat an entire Pokemon game without using a single move or healing item? Yeah, it is actually. I did it on X and Y, you can see it on my main channel, but here I kind of just wanted to sit back and talk about a run that didn't go as well. Black and White. Now before we dive too deep into this 70 hours of my life I'll never get back, I want to say that it is possible. At least I think so. I've never done the Elite Four champion. You'll see soon. But when I decided to make the switch to X and Y, it wasn't because it was impossible. I just decided that the grind I would have needed to like move forward wasn't really worth it. Also, this is going to be kind of a looser, just me talking about cool things I learned, things that happened, because I think Black and White was really interesting. It's not going to be edited like a main channel video or anything, but I did it for 70 hours, and I didn't really want it all to go to waste, because there's some genuinely cool stuff in here, so yeah. The second channel was born. Alright, let's go all the way back to hour 0. I was excited I had a plan, and after some research about which Pokemon I should get and sort of general strategies I should use, I figured that the hardest part by far was going to be the beginning, assuming that the end would be possible, because obviously the champion and stuff is going to be hard once they're high level, but the beginning was going to be way harder than any of the mid game. But it wasn't that long, at least distance in the game wise. Even though I figured it was going to take an unreasonably ungodly amount of hours, I have this persistence with challenges like this. I don't know what it is, but really stupid challenges that I shouldn't waste as much time on as I do, I love. So I knew I could do it. I picked Snivy and I was ready to get things started until I wasn't. I caught 5 level 1 Lillipups to complete my Route 1 team. It is slightly higher defenses than Patrat, and it can also be useful beyond just Route 1. I thought this would be enough to kind of easily take down level 2 Patrats with switching, but it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Okay, we weren't even close. Holy fuck. Okay, I picked Snivy because it has better defenses and all-around better bulk at pretty much every evolution stage compared to the other 2 starters. But because of the way stats are calculated at early levels, you don't have a lot of stat points, right? Not much in defense and everything. HP actually matters way more. So it turns out Tepig and Oshawott can both survive 1 more hit each from a level 2 Patrat. Which is funny because I needed to survive exactly 1 more hit on a perfect rolls Patrat to survive it, to even get XP, to even have a chance. We can get Patrat to struggle with no crits and our current team. Because of that, before I even switched to my next starter, I had a discussion with my chat about like if we should pivot. And oh my god, I wish I decided that then, because this timer, oh, what a bad idea. But I didn't, and I had a choice to make. Oshawott or Tepig. I went with Tepig because Bianca is the first rival fight at the end of Route 2, and Snivy doesn't learn any special moves, and by the time I fight her, I'll have Herdier, so I'll actually be able to beat it in like a reasonable amount of time. And oh my god, this is maybe the biggest mistake in my entire life. Well, my Pokemon life, you know, not my real life, but oh my god, I could have saved so much time of my real life if I just went with, oh my god. Anyways, I picked Tepig. What was actually kind of cool about the early game, albeit insanely tedious, was that even with a new starter, I had to get literally a perfect run against a level 2 Patrat to beat it and to get any XP in the game. But what even is a perfect run? Well, okay, of course a Pokemon can hit critical hits, which just kind of ruins me. But also, every time a Pokemon in any game uses a damaging move, there's a randomness to it beyond just if it crits or not. In the Pokemon damage calculation, there's a little multiplier called random. There's a number from like 0.85 to 1 that is multiplied like everything else, like same type attack bonus, like typing, like move power, the attack stat of your Pokemon. It's just like that. But it's the one thing you literally cannot control. It just so happens that somewhere pretty high up on this 0.85 to 1 scale, with a level 2 Patrat, no matter its IVs, there's a chance for Tackle on Tepig to do 4 damage instead of 3, and on the Lillipups do 5 damage instead of 4. It doesn't happen often, but I have almost no wiggle room across my team to take these hits at all. Throw on crits on top of that, and you have to be like the unluckiest Patrat in the world to not just wipe my team. So the strategy I ended up doing was I would take a step save, take a step save, take a step save, so on and so on until I found a level 2 Patrat. And then what I would do, I would go through the entire battle. I'm talking like 70 plus turns because it has Tackle and Leer. And I would write down what turns it got either a high roll or a crit. That actually let me plan out my switches because I could tank 1 high roll on Tepig. Because Tepig has 23 health, getting hit by a 4 damage move doesn't actually change the threshold, which is essentially any number 3 is a factor of. If I get hit with a 4 damaging move exactly once, when Tepig's 1 shot, it just has 1 HP left instead of 2. Also, if there are any crits or high rolls on later turns, I could make sure I have a Lillipup 1 shot by that point, and then it just kind of soaks up the excess damage. And then once I finally mapped out all the turns, I would restart the game, walk the same direction, get in a fight with the same Pat Rat, and the turns would play out the same. Well, most of the time, sometimes it just didn't work. I don't really know why. I think it's something to do with system time or when you reset or something. I don't know, but most of the time it worked. It was a lot to just get like 8 XP off of like level 2 Pat Rats for a Tepig. But eventually, I was able to level some Pokemon up, and it became at least more lenient, and I didn't have to map out as much. 34, and then 35 is also a crit, which someone needs to die anyways, so that's chill. So this should be 35. Okay, now he should... Wait, that wasn't a crit? Uh-oh. Wait. Please don't have another tackle. Please be struggling. I don't know why that wasn't a crit, but... Okay. You struggle. Yes. Okay, so I kill the 1, go into the 1, and go to the 3. Yes. Come on. Kill the 1, yeah. And then I go into the 1 and swap to the 3. Don't you dare one-shot. Come on, please. Wait, no, I just win anyways, right? Even if it one-shots, I win anyways. Yes! We got XP! Oh, we're splitting the XP. It's gonna go up so little. Oh, no! It went up a quarter! After what I would say is maybe a concerning amount of hours, I felt confident enough to fight N. His Purloin scared me. I was just fighting level 2s, and it's level 7. But it was easier than even the level 2 Pat Rats with my current team. I think I could have done this 6 hours ago. Whatever, N's defeated. We get some good XP. $700. I guess just because Scratch has 10 less power than Tackle in this gen, plus it doesn't have Stab, just made it really weak? I don't really know, but I was kind of pissed. Like, sure, I beat it, which was cool, and I can go to the next area, but I wasted so much time fighting the Pat Rats. I could have saved hours. Like, sure, yeah, it felt kind of good to beat him, but I was still pissed. I just wanted to get to Route 2. I was thinking about Route 2 for so long because there's an easier, albeit more mind-numbing, but way easier grind that gives more XP. Because on Route 2, Purloins can spawn at level 5, and all they know is Scratch and Growl, and it's just ends Purloin, but even easier. I can dictate who gets XP. I don't have to swap out. I can use Antidote Stalling, which takes up a turn, but doesn't consume the antidote if you use it on a Pokemon that isn't poisoned. It just literally says it has no effect, and it goes next turn. I can use that and orchestrate who levels up better, and it's just marginally faster. So, yeah. Like, sick I'm there, but damn. Not much else happened here. It was just the same thing. I did finally fight Bianca, and even though her Snivy is a little scary with Torrent, or is it Overgrow, I think, for grass Pokemon? I don't know, I'm just calling it Torrent. Since Vine Whip and Tackle are both physical moves, it didn't matter too much because I have Herdier with Intimidate, so Bianca was easy. But my god, it was not worth making it easier. So let's recap. In almost 2 days of my actual life, I made it all the way to Straighton City. That's Nuvema Town, Accumula Town, Route 1, and Route 2, all done, and it only took almost 48 hours. So let me just break down what I was thinking at this point. I was kind of losing my mind because 2 days of my life for what? But I was also kind of hopeful. The reason why I was even able to stick this out for this long so far was because I knew as soon as I beat the first gym, the game opened up and was a million times easier. Like if you saw my X and Y video, as easy as the mid-game in that, just basically could be a 2-minute montage in a video. Because once I beat the first gym, I get access to the Dream Yard, which has our first carry Pokemon, Audino, who has Regenerator and just a lot of health and a lot of defense. And then right at the beginning of Route 3 is the Pokemon Daycare, which basically means if I just spend 6-7 hours, especially with speed up, I can have level 100 Pokemon, 2 at a time. It's a game changer, and it opens the whole game up and makes everything up to like Gym 8 or maybe the Elite 4 insanely easy. And there were only 3 roadblocks in the way. Youngster Joey, Sharon, I don't know how you say it, and the gym leader. Let's start with Youngster Joey. Youngster Joey. Why does this dude have 3 Pokemon? He has 167 attacking PP. That means if everything went perfect, there were no crits, no high rolls, none of his Pokemon attacked until they were all -6 Intimidate, I would still need 168 health points across my team to survive. That's insane. Throw on top of that the odds of him never critting being, oh, just, you know, 1 in, I literally have to look over to read this. 1 in 75,188, and that's not even calculating the odds for no high rolls, which I don't know what it would be, probably over 1 million if I had to guess. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Like, that just wasn't gonna happen. But I had to beat Joey because I would have to beat him eventually anyways to get to the Dream Yard. But also, if I beat him, I would get a Pansage. And I needed that Pansage to tank the water attacks from Charon and more importantly, the gym leader. It took a few tries. Okay? Only 2 more. Please, 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 please. You can high damage roll because I think it does too. Just don't crit. Antidote, no effect. Struggle. Okay. 1 more, please. Please don't crit. Please. Please. Oh my god, please. Joey, don't do it to me. That would be so messed up. Please, Joey, don't do it to me. There's no f***ing way. There's no way. Does that count? Wait, does that count? Wait, please tell me that counts. Please tell me that counts. I know I blacked out, but does that count as beating him? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. No, 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 no. No, 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 this game is so cruel. This world is so oh my god. And way more training up than I wanted to do, and way more time than I ever thought I would have to allot to a youngster Joey fight. But I got there. Youngster Joey has finally, after 43 hours, youngster Joey has been conquered. Why was that a crit again? Is that like, is this 4th struggle on this Lillipup always a crit? It doesn't matter. The foe's Lillipup is gone. And youngster Joey has been defeated by the player. So, there were only 2 roadblocks left, and after training up Pansage, I was pretty confident to fight the other 2. Charon was honestly really easy. I was just high enough level. I got 3 orange berries though, which I was really excited about because I felt like they could really come in handy, giving me essentially 30 free more health against the gym leader. The 2 trainers in the gym were unavoidable, but they were honestly pretty easy, so I was ready to take on Cress. Remember earlier when I said I made the biggest mistake maybe in my Pokemon life, picking my starter? Yeah, this is kind of where it all comes to a head. So every gym leader in Pokemon has their own signature move or a quirky little thing they like to do in their battles. The silly, goofy gimmick that the Straighton gym leaders use is Work Up. Work Up is a move that just raises your attack and special attack by 1 stage each. Very annoying, right? Especially when I can't attack back and they're gonna get their full stats. On the Lillipup Crest leads with, it's not too bad. My team takes a little more damage than I would like, but at worst I keep its attack at neutral, so its bites don't do that much at the end of the day. But Panpour, oh my god, fuck Panpour. Panpour has Water Gun. Water Gun is a special move. Panpour just gets to go to +6 for free and wipe my team like it's Kyogre. But I did come into this with a plan. I actually thought I was kind of a genius for this. So what if I use Tepig, right? I lead with Tepig on Panpour, and I get Crest to see Tepig and say, oh my god, super effective attack, we have to do it. And then I switch to Pansage. That way, Water Gun doesn't do that much damage, right? Not very effective. And then I do that and sort of delay the workups. That way I'm tanking as many Water Guns as possible with the least amount of stat boost as possible. Might work, right? You see the super effective, right? So go for it. No. No way you're just gonna go for Workup. Now it goes for Water Gun? Is this AI f***ing stupid? Yeah, no. It didn't. Crest didn't give a f***. It didn't matter. Like, I thought I don't know how Pokemon AI works. I thought that it would see super effective and want to do the attack, but it almost never did. I even tried... Like, I looked up how the AI worked, and there's different classes of trainers, but one of them was that it looks for super effective moves. So I don't know if... I know there's some weird math where it, like, takes all 4 moves and has a set number of, like, 20 or something, and then adds priority to it, or takes away priority depending on, like, how the battle is and whatnot. If it's super effective, not very effective. I don't know. But apparently it wasn't enough to get it to Water Gun, because I just couldn't. I thought I was so smart, but it just never did. It just... got its stat boosts. There were sometimes I got it too, like, I was so desperate that I was just, at this point, experimenting, trying to figure out, like, okay, is there a certain switch that changes the seeding to make it water gun? And yes, technically there is, but it didn't last for long. So, like, if I switched to, let's say I started with Pignite. I kept saying Tepig, I meant Pignite, but same thing. Let's say I started with Pignite and switched to Pansage, and it work-upped. I would reload at the Pignite and then switch to like a Herdier, and it would water gun sometimes. Because Pokemon games are really weird when you load into a fight or something, or load into the game, it has like set seeds for stuff that are based on the actions you do. I don't really understand how it works. I know like the very basics of it, which is what I just said. But that's about it. But like, there wasn't a path where I could get it to water gun 5-6 times, then work up once, and then water gun like 3 more times to be able to soak up the damage. It just work up way too frequently. So even with a super effective hit right there, I guess maybe the Straighton gym leaders are just programmed to prio workup because it's like their signature move. I don't know. It was stupid though. But I was at a point where I had to make a decision. So I did some very rough calculations just based on how long it took me to like kill a Patrat in the beginning and then do a Purloin once I was on Route 2, etc. To get to a level where Pansage could comfortably survive enough +6s to maybe waste enough water gun PP for me to live the fight with like a Herdier, I would need to be about level 40, which would take almost double the amount of time, like almost another 70 hours. So that was kind of off the table. I wasn't doing that. And then the options were either to switch games or go with Oshawott. Oshawott to get to this same point and potentially beat the gym leader, which I think I would, because they would have Pansage, who would have Vine Whip, which is a physical move. So all of its moves would be physical, and I could just intimidate it and easily win. Easily. It would still take like 40 hours. And honestly, the beginning of that game is really boring. Even once you get to Route 3 with the Daycare and Aldino, the only strat is Regenerator, which is also really boring. So I went to X and Y, which, to be honest, has a lot of cooler strategies, a lot more unique strategies, ways to do different fights. I really enjoyed it, and catching XP, which was awesome. So if somehow you're at the end of this and saw this video and not that one is like a really well-made video. I'm really, really proud of it. Go check it out, please. This channel is gonna have more stuff on like this. I have a stream I did where I picked my favorite Pokemon on like this grid of each gen and each type, and it was really fun. So that's gonna be on here, and just stuff that maybe isn't main channel stuff, but I liked or enjoyed or had fun with. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That was my failed attempt of Black and White, and 70+ hours of my life that I'll never get back. So definitely worth it. Bye bye. See ya.